Happy Friday. I'm coming to you on a kind of rainy, not so sunny, gray day to talk about the people that I spent the weekend with. No, it wasn't Tony Robbins. No, it wasn't some famous celebrity. But I learned a lot, and I learned about determination. I learned about what it takes to be successful. I learned about the philosophy of never giving up. I learned about perseverance and how people can fall down, literally fall down, and get right back up again and continue, because that's what it takes to be successful. So I spent the weekend at a speed skating meet, and it was for kids. So I'm not going to spend time talking about how amazing my child is, or how great these kids did, or I'm not going to be one of those crazy moms that reels you in with crazy titles just to tell you how awesome her kid is. Not going to do that. But what I am going to tell you about is literally what it takes in the speed skating world to be successful. And what it takes is to fall down. And I know that sounds really funny, but these kids are at the provincial meet, and in order for them to be successful, they need to fall down. And the reason I say that is this. In order to be successful in anything, especially speed skating, you need to push yourself. You need to do something outside of your comfort zone. You need to just go for it. And you know what? When they go for it and they push themselves, guess what? They're kids. They fall down. But then guess what happens? They get back up. They get back up. And the amazing things is that I go into the locker room and these kids are crying. I mean, they're so upset. They've just fallen in a provincial meet where it matters. They're so down on themselves. But guess what happens in the next race? They win. Because you know what? They fell down, they brushed themselves off, and they kept going. And the thing is that they didn't let that one race ruin their day. They kept going, they got more determined, they got energized because they fell. And that's what I love about this sport. And that's why I love cheering on them on from the crowd, because I know when they fall down, they've pushed themselves. And that's what I love about being an entrepreneur, is that the more we push ourselves, the more likely we're going to fall down. And that's okay, because you know what? When we fall down, we get back up again. And that's what's really important. And I've talked to a few people in the last few days about perfection. And I was actually talking to an old client yesterday, and she was saying that her website wasn't up yet. And she wasn't ready to press that go button because it wasn't perfect. And you know what I told her? I told her to fall down. I said, it's okay if it fails. It's okay to press that go button when it's not perfect. Because when we press that go button and it's not perfect and we fall down, we get back up again. And the next time we do it, it's going to be even better. So that's what I love about speed skating. And I love about being an entrepreneur is they're so similar, right? So again, watching these kids fall down literally, brush themselves off, and get back up again to win their next race. That's what it takes, right? That slow and steady wins the race, that whole rabbit and tortoise and hare concept. Well, I truly believe in that, right? I think it's really important to understand that in order to be successful, we must first fail. So I do have a really quick story about my child though. And that was it last year at the provincial championship. He actually did fall. But not only did he fall during one of his races, he actually took someone out. That's what they kind of teach you. When you're pushing yourself, it's okay. And you know what's even better than falling is that the coaches are so happy. The coaches are happy that he fell, right? And he took someone out because that meant he was pushing himself. So the coaches came, gave him a bunch of high fives. Okay, my son was really upset by the way that he fell. But yeah, came around, gave him a bunch of high fives. He even got disqualified. He even got disqualified for taking the kid out. It was brutal. It was such a bad moment. But you know what? He actually did come back in the next race and win. So I think these kids can teach us a lot about what it takes to continue, what it takes to fall down, and what it takes to get back up again. So if you're an entrepreneur, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be this picture of perfection. And you know what? If you fail, that's okay. It means you're pushing yourself. Dust yourself off and get right back up again so that you can win the next race.